And
here's to a good podcast.
Yes. Ready?
Yep.
Boom. 3, 2, 1.
All right, here we are once again. I am Tom Robinson. I'm an alcoholic addict in recovery, and this is the Life on Life's Terms podcast. And like I always say, we are not affiliated with any 12-step program, although we do endorse them.
We are fans. My name is Chris Mandeville. I'm a recovering heroin addict. We are here at a New Way Recovery Center in Quincy, Mass. on Quincy Ave. If you're in recovery and you're in treatment or in this area, lots of resources, lots of meetings every day. Here they have multiple meetings daily. So great place if you need to use computers, check your email, apply for jobs. They got all that stuff here. Tonight we have Deborah, Deb? Is Deb okay?
Deborah, Debbie, Deb, Trixie.
Yeah, this. I think you guys are probably going to be in for a treat. There'll probably be a lot of laughing on this one. She reached out to us during the last podcast in a comment, and I told her to message me, and here she is.
She said she could do better.
Yeah. Better than Fitz. You hear that, Fitz?
Yeah. Right.
No, not at all. Better than I used to be. Not better than anyone else.
Yeah. That's it. So she's going to share her experience, strength, and hope with us, and we're going to, I don't know.
Be wowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be
amazed.
It's going to keep you sober.
Before we're halfway through.
Yeah. You're either going to stay sober or want to use. That's up to you. That's on you, not me.
Right. So, take it away.
Take it away.
I'm Deborah. I'm an alcoholic. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
This is great. Yeah. I was glad when it got shared. Isn't that how you ever find anything anyway?
Oh, is that how you found it?
Yeah.
Somebody shared it.
Fitz had shared his, and
so please share, everybody.
Yeah, sharing was good.
Yeah, shout out to Fitzy for the share.
Yeah,
thanks, Fitzy.
Feel free to share again.
Sharing is caring.
Yep.
That's it.
Let's do a Saturday Night Live skit. That'll be good.
I know. No Coke.
Meatballs.
Yeah. Pepsi.
No Coke. Yeah. So, I don't know. There's too much. There's so much about me. Right now in recovery, I'm a reflexologist, Reiki master.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. You're the second one we've had on.
Yeah.
So do you know Kristen? Colby?
No, but there's so many of us. Thank God I don't know her. That means there's plenty of us.
So, obviously, we got a free Reiki session out of
You
this,
got
right?
it. You got it, people.
Honestly, I just recently went through some stuff and, did a couple Reiki sessions, and,
It's good stuff.
It just made me feel a lot better, and now I haven't been doing it for a while, and
you know what makes it a great
I wanna do it
modality?
again.
It makes a great modality for people who have been hurt, people who have been even sexually hurt, anything like that, because it's not a touching, and you stay clothed. So there's that place where there's this trust anyway that's already put out there. So
the two I did, they actually put hands on me, which I didn't mind. It's fine with me,
I tend to.
Yeah.
I'll do one hand so you know where I am, and then one that might be moving.
But I could feel heat. I could see lights, colors.
It's funny what happens when we meditate.
Yes.
It's sought through prayer, meditation.
Yeah, meditation's fantastic. I have to say that I wish I did it more. I really haven't been caring myself like I should. Lately, I've been so busy. I've been running myself ragged, and I've been eating crappy food, and
makes a big difference, man.
Yeah, the only thing I've been doing right is praying, basically.
Yeah, but
reading everybody's posts, sucking up the recovery on Facebook.
At least you're doing that. At least you're doing that, because that's usually the first to go.
Right.
That's usually the first to go. It's you get better physically, mentally, and spiritually, but when you relapse, it's spirituality goes out the window.
Yeah,
you mentally start thinking about it, and then you physically pick it up.
Well, I have the healthy fear still. I know how strong that shit is. Yep. And what I mean by that is the the grip it can have on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'm not afraid of the yets. I'm afraid of the agains.
Yeah,
right.
I've said it before. It's like addiction is like having sex with a gorilla. It's not over until the gorilla says so.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
I don't want to have sex with a gorilla.
Me either.
Camera's off.
Not without a kiss first.
Kiss me. I like to get kissed when I get. Yeah, and you know, when you say that you pray, then you should put down the bat, because just before you prayed, there was a slight meditation that said, dude, pray. You actually did the meditation first. That said, I'm messed up. This is messed up. God, help me. And first you heard pray. You only heard pray through that slight meditation moment. Why does it? You don't have to get into a yogi position or up on a mountain or in the middle of a pond.
Right.
You know, it can be right there on the toilet.
Yep. I used to work for someone in recovery who was my sponsor, and I was a painter. And I would do, like, some jobs were so mindless and menial, it was like extremely meditative. I could just do whatever. And at the time I was listening to Joe and Charlie. I don't know if you've ever listened to them.
No, I don't think so.
They a couple of old timers that break down the book.
Nice.
It was like all by myself, some of the best days I've had. Like, just untouchable, just like you know.
Yeah.
It felt great.
I painted when I was 15. It was like one of the first things I did for a job. I only did it for a day, but it occurred to me right away. Like, I asked the guy, "Do you think a lot, or do you space out when you paint?" He said, I space, and then I think, and then I space.
Yeah.
And then I think about how I space.
Yeah. Then I think about how I paint.
You know? Yeah, it's amazing. People are so afraid of boredom. Don't be afraid of boredom. Boredom is when those thoughts come to us.
Right,
you know?
right. I know. We always think we got to be doing something of FOMO, you know, like, oh, we're missing out on something. No, like, sit with self. Be okay with you. And not having to be over there or with them, or you know. But
it probably is easier. It's easier when you're in recovery. It's easier when you've gone through some steps.
Right.
When you've come to your own truth, some realizations about yourself, and stop blaming everybody else.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I don't remember being bored. Maybe at work. I don't know. I've been bored in a long time. Probably at work, I guess. Like, I can't wait for this to be over.
So now you talked about
I've thought about that thing.
Reiki and stuff. You got into that in recovery?
I got into that before recovery.
Yeah.
And boy, getting sober changed. Of course, it changed everything, but it definitely changed my my motives. You know, at first I was the healer. Now I know God is, and I'm the the conduit to it.
Right.
Oh, cool.
And then I also I just do what I like, do what I love, and love what I do. I also am a collage facilitator, and that's with no words. That's all pictures, and you get it on just a small, like smaller than 8.5 by 11, half of that, a 5 by 7 card. And that's a piece of you. It's a piece of your soul. So I have like 110 cards, and those are all pieces of me, even if it's the community that is in my life or the committee that's in the head.
So hold on, let's break that down a little bit. What you have a card, and what do you do? Where did you get the card?
So you make the card. Out of anywhere from 1 to 20 pictures. Or more pictures, but
of yourself that
you've
have
cut out of magazines.
Oh, okay.
And you stick it to the card.
You stick it to the card with
tiny
glue,
little card,
a collage,
small pictures.
Yeah, 5 by 7.
Wow.
And then turn it this way or that sideways.
Yeah.
And so one might be greed, one might be gratitude. One is the happy child, one's the sad child, one's the bitch. You know, one.
Wow, that's interesting. So that's like kind of like a therapy thing.
The wise woman, yeah, and it's your card. So I don't know if you've seen all these angel cards that are out there, and tarot.
Yeah,
you've heard of tarot.
Yeah.
You know, and the Joker card and the King of Swords, and that's all tarot. So that's all great. Somebody did a great job making those. This one you make. And this resonates with you, so that when you look at it, even if you just make one collage, you could journal on that every day. You could journal on it. You could leave it out. You could go, this is a part of me.
Journal on it? You mean writing in your journal about the card?
Yep.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a great modality. As I say modalities, but it's a really nice tool for getting to know. You're only as sick as your secrets, and your secret will come out about that. Now, somebody might do a card, and it was about a cat, and they miss their cat. But aren't they maybe shoving their grief, who knows, in denial of their grief, or and they're using that card to get it out.
Now, how did you realize that you wanted to do these things?
I stepped in it. Just like reflexology that works on the feet. I went and had a treatment. I'm a hypnotherapist as well. How? Because I went and I had a hypnotherapy session done. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I just worked with a woman today who was having, let's just say, she was having issues on maybe moving forward, making more money, and so we got talking, and we weren't talking. She was kind of hypnotized, and it came out that her husband isn't validating her. Well, is that true? And she's like, no. I go, so who's not validating you? And she said, I'm not validating me. And that came from when you get rid of all the bullshit. Excuse my language. I speak fluent swear.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Fluent swear.
This is 100% unscripted.
Yes, real.
So there you go. And so and then it's like, wow. So you're telling me you're blaming other people because you're getting not where you want to be. How you doing with that? You ready to stop that?
And it's probably through procrastination. Because the only thing that holds us back is us. That's
Generally.
it. That's
generally
we hold ourselves
or us responding to other people or things that are holding us back.
Right,
because we let shit get
yeah. So, you can't do that. No, I can't do that.
Right.
No,
Yeah, well, it is what you think, and that's one of the big secrets in life. It is what you think. Whatever you think, you're going to have. Whatever you think you're going to do, you're going to have. It's going to come to you. Whatever you think of. You think that you're not good enough for this, and you're not going to have that. Right. We're self-limiting.
Yeah.
Likewise, I'm a sugar addict. So am I a sugar addict that eats sugar? Or am I a sugar addict that's refraining from sugar? So label yourself whatever you want, but then what are you going to do about it? So
yeah, labels are huge, especially for children.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is interesting. Wow. So let's go back for a minute. You said you're a collage facilitator. So you help people with doing this? And how long did they journal on one card?
Whatever, right?
Until they feel they need to make a new one?
Right. I had one guy, he spent 2 hours making one card, that size card. And it ended up being this, old man from Alaska, this old man and all these animals in front of him as if they were pulling his sled. And then he had light up at the top, and he had some hearts. He didn't know where to put the stars. And then he told me that he is the man on the sled for all his children, leading his children, and the light was God leading him.
Nice.
I was blown away. Wow. I had no idea that was going to come out of him.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when you're people, if you do it in a group, I tell people, if somebody's not talking to you, leave them alone.
Yeah, because you're going to influence.
Yeah, and they're lost. They're lost in what they're doing,
right.
And just because you can't get bored enough, just because you can't quiet down enough to, do your work, they're not afraid of their work.
You do this collaging in a group.
I do, or one-on-one, but yeah. Matter of fact, I'm taking it to Nantucket next month.
Oh, nice. This is a good idea. Yeah. Where did you come up with this idea again?
I went to a class.
Yeah.
I steal everybody's ideas. I haven't had an original thought in my body.
I see.
Right.
No,
right.
Yeah.
Cool though. Yeah.
So you could just do this on your own. I went to Soul Collage One Word and became a facilitator of this one particular practice. But I put my spin on it because of my Reiki and my recovery type of work. So.
Have you studied the subconscious mind as a hypnotherapist? You know about the subconscious mind a lot, right?
A little, not a lot.
A little. I've looked into it a little bit. It's amazing. It's really an amazing thing.
Yeah, because the subconscious supposedly says yes. All this no that we're doing is it's us. It's our fears and no. But our subconscious is yes.
Well, I hear that in order to influence your subconscious, you have to use faith in that something's going to happen, faith that you are this or that, and visual images are good. Subconscious is a really powerful thing, and that's the self-limiting part of us.
Right.
It comes from our subconscious. If our subconscious doesn't believe that getting out of our comfort zone is something that we do, then we're going to find a way not to do it. When I was in Turnabout, the treatment center we went to, it was time to move up. You have to achieve the next level of treatment in this system, and so you're supposed to have all these papers, and you're supposed to read off everything that you've been doing, working on this and that. And I left mine out of the meeting. You can't just get up out of the meeting and walk down and get them.
Right.
So basically, it was like, all right, another month of treatment in this phase for you, right? And I was so out of my mind upset about it because I couldn't get a phone call or something like that.
Yeah,
like
right.
It was something like that. And I talked to my counselor afterwards, and he said, well, it was probably your subconscious mind telling you weren't ready.
Right.
Good one.
Right. Because what we think is going to affect, what we think consciously is going to affect our subconscious. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, somewhat. But the subconscious mind will limit you if you don't truly have that in you to believe that you're going to go on to the next thing.
Right.
It'll take care of you. That's probably where your courage comes from.
That's right.
Courage comes. Yeah.
Okay, so you grew up where?
In AA.
Right.
Yeah, I grew up in Hanover. I was born in Hanover. The daughter of an alcoholic. He sobered up when I was 12. My brothers and sisters are all alcoholics in recovery. Just about all of them.
That's awesome.
So alcoholism runs in families. Well, so does recovery.
Right.
So
cool. Yeah. And they're all in AA.
Yep. My dad is, what is he now? Do the math, 40 years sober.
Wow.
Awesome.
My brother is, 25 years sober.
Wow. AA doesn't work though, right?
My sister.
Yeah, I know.
Well.
Oh,
right?
Man.
So, yeah. So, then I married a guy that didn't want to come home. No matter what I did. Clean the house, don't clean the house, do the dishes, don't do the dishes. And I was over at my brother's house 11 o'clock at night. Why won't he come home? And he's like, well, the bitch is to the left and the bar is to the right.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I took that man hostage, and I didn't realize it. I thought I was going to fix him, change him.
Oh, of course.
Bring him to God.
Let
And
me get a fixer-upper.
I apologize tenfold for my part in it. That's for sure. Got a divorce when the kids were 2 and 4. Met a guy.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Been with this guy now 21 years, and we were going off. We were going off to trips galore. I've been on 45 cruises.
Really? Wow. I love cruises.
I love cruises.
I've never been on a cruise.
I've been on.
I've been in a cruiser.
3
in the back.
3.
And I take it best bang for your buck.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, because you can find deals. Like, can you leave tomorrow? Sure, you can take this cruise for $249.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm there.
Let's
do this.
Well,
serious.
and one of the other addictions is gambling, and so we get there on the cruise. The casinos send us along, and
so I know that there's tons of booze on the boats. So I look around. They have meetings. I have met some of the coolest people.
I'm sorry.
I've met some of the coolest people. Like, I met this one couple, this guy Joe from Jersey. Met him on this cruise. Then Katrina happened, and I'm like, oh man, I wonder if he's okay. Like, I never got his number. I lost his number somehow.
Oh, he's from New Orleans?
No, was it Katrina? Sandy.
Oh, Sandy, right?
Sandy. And so, like, I'm thinking about this guy, and like, I'm putting it out into the universe, and then we're going on this other cruise, and I'm like, wow, I wonder what ever happened. Who's behind me in line? Like 4 people, him and his wife, and I'm like, whoa. So and then
there's like 800 people on a cruise ship. For him to even be in line is
could be thousands on some of them.
Oh God!
So then we meet one guy in these meetings. We had great meetings. Like we just got with good people. One of the cruises I went on, there's a lady from Quincy shows up in the meetings.
Wow.
This one guy
in Quincy is in recovery, I believe, or you?
He was on this cruise to go to his properties and collect his rent in different countries.
Nice.
Wow.
So he had been on so many cruises, he bought shit in different countries, rented it out, and was just making money. You know what I mean? Like happy as a clam. Like
that's wild.
Yeah.
Does he need a girlfriend? A maid?
It was.
Can I hold his book?
Like we've had some great times, like sunsets, sunrises, like nothing like being on the ocean and seeing that.
Yeah. Well, you got to figure. I'm 8 years no booze, and in 21 years, most of our cruising was before that. I would bring my booze in my suitcase because you could.
Yeah.
And so I'd bring my booze in the suitcase. I'd bring all my nips, put them up on the bedside, and because I didn't want my honey to know how much booze I was drinking.
Right.
Because he'd get the bill.
Oh yeah.
The bill for the
at the end of the cruise.
Sorry, Phil.
$4,800. What the?
Yeah, he wants to know where his amends is. Well, guess what? That's one of the amends, and because I didn't want him to know how much I was drinking, and he was always off doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And I'd be in the cruise. I'd be in the room drinking. You're on a cruise. There's so much to do, and I'm in the room drinking.
Yeah. Right. That's sad.
Because that was warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
That was my lover. So.
Yep. Right. Warm and fuzzy until you passed out.
And you don't want to be drunk on a ship.
I've only been on one, but I've only been on 3.
Yeah.
One of them,
one that got you sick.
I didn't get sick, but that boat was the water in the pool was like splash, and this is really a big ship.
Was it out of Boston?
No, I'm going out of Boston. I feel I'm wasting time.
Oh yeah, but you don't have to pay for airfare.
Right,
it's great.
Right,
it really is great.
You can go down
Boston
to
Bermuda.
Yeah, and stay right on the boat.
Yeah, that sounds.
It pulls up and it parks, so that's your
hotel.
Oh yeah, right. Wow, that sounds fun.
And then you're not paying for airfare.
Yep. I actually seen something. I think it was Maine. A decommissioned cruise ship they were going to take and park and use for the homeless.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Like tons of cabins,
Wonder who's paying for the cleaning contract.
Right.
Maybe that's the rent.
Yeah.
Bartering, trading.
So
you can live here, but you got to clean here.
Yeah.
Born and raised in Hanover.
Whatever.
Daughter of an alcoholic family.
Yep.
Drunk, sober.
Yep. Learned how to be a wife of an alcoholic through my mother. How to be an alcoholic. And I was so afraid. Like I haven't done cocaine. I haven't done heroin. Like it scares the hell out of me. But probably more that I would like it than anything else.
Yes.
But I just assume I would die. Like, because I want more.
Yes.
It says take 1, I take 2. If you offered me those, please don't. If you did, I would take 2. I don't know how to take 1.
Right.
Like
junkie math.
Yeah. Yeah. So so Hanover and now I'm in Halifax. I've been in Halifax 25 years. Got 2 kids who have kids. I'm a grandmother of 5.
Nice.
Wow.
Freaking awesome. They're my do-overs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grandkids are your do-overs.
Right.
If you were drinking when your kids were younger, and when my kids were teenagers, I didn't know they were off getting into trouble. They have their own story, but it's messed up. And I had no idea because when they wanted to go over to Susie's house, I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Oh, right, yeah.
Great.
Yes, absolutely. Now I can drink
self-centeredness of the alcohol.
Right, but I was acting so selfless. Like I was like,
sure, go ahead. Yeah,
I'm cool. Let me take you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need a ride? Do you need some money?
Yeah, right.
How long are you gonna be gone?
That was me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you go stay at your friend's house so we can go away?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Call him up. Hey, can you stay over so and so's?
Oh my God, we're headed to Grandma's house. Now, if Grammy says it's okay for you to sleep over, it's okay with me. You know, like, messed up. But, you know, my grandkids are my do-overs, and I drop everything for them, and I pause when agitated, because I could just as easily throw a fit. I'm just as quick to be crazy. You know,
Yes.
so.
Oh yeah.
But when my kids were little, when my son was little, I cut his hair really short, because I was such a good mom. Because if it was short, I couldn't grab him by the hair. Like, I was such a monster. And I would put the lock for the doorknob. I'd put that on the inside of his bedroom so he couldn't come out, because I was saving him from me. So, you know, like, I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing, when really getting better would have been better. Getting better would have been better.
Right. Well, it's, you know, it's, if you don't know what you don't know, and you're on a journey to find out.
Yeah. Well, I went to Al-Anon. I went to Alateen 12 through 14, 16, and then I was in Al-Anon for quite a while, and you know, for the rest of my life. And I was in the wrong place. I was in the wrong place. I should have been in AA.
Did you figure out that you should have been in AA because you were in an Al-Anon meeting?
No.
No.
I figured I was in
Because it really hadn't kicked
I was
off
still,
yet?
because I wasn't working the program. I was letting other women tell me, "You're right. He is a shit. You're right. He is a jerk. You're right. This isn't going to get better unless." I don't know what. I have no idea, because I was still in an alcoholic fog, probably.
So the focus was still on him.
Yeah.
Right.
If you had him for a husband, you'd drink too.
Right.
I'm just drinking because, you know, I need to, not because I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I'm drinking because I need to, not because I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You know?
Sucks. I gotta drink.
I'm just really thirsty.
Yeah, and I didn't want to be an alcoholic. Like, I just didn't want to. That's my dad. That's my family. That's
Right. You become the thing you don't want.
Yeah, that's those losers. I'm not a loser. I'm just struggling. Like, I'm just lost. I'm not a loser like them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We think we're terminally unique.
Yeah. And when I came to AA, everybody was an idiot. Everybody was. I would be in counseling, and I would be talking about the idiots in my life, and I don't even know when that stopped. 3 years, 4 years into recovery.
Yeah.
Maybe when I picked up, I got high. I took 2 hits off a joint and changed my sobriety date. I called a guy in AA that smokes pot, and I said I got high, and he says, "That's okay. It's okay. You're a drunk. You don't care about it. You don't care about pot. That's okay." So I hung up with him and called like 2 or 3 more people and said, "Change your sobriety," and that's fine.
Yep.
You know, it's one day at a time. You never know about one day at a time until, I mean, you don't have to slip, but if you do, let it be a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, I don't judge people if they feel that they can smoke pot, you know, whatever. I mean,
Right. When I was early in my recovery, I was like, "Oh fuck, you ain't sober." Like,
right.
But I've read a lot about marijuana, and you know, just learned a lot about it. And if someone can use CBD or a tincture or take a rip off of something and not have to ingest pharmaceuticals that fuck them up in way more ways than the pot, you know, more power to them.
Right. Well, I think it is a valid point to early in recovery, when you're just coming around, maybe you should, you know, lay off of everything for a while, figure out who you are, what you need to do, and you know what I mean? Because you know, it's just it is another chemical, and if you're just using it as a recreational chemical,
and it's just like anything else.
Really,
like, you want a script of Suboxone, you got $150. You go see a doctor, he gets you the script. You want a medical marijuana card, you got $150. You go see a doctor, he gives you a card. Like, if you're manipulating, I know people that are on medications that fucking said, "Hey, I need this," and the doctor gave it to them. You know, but they don't want to come off that medication.
Yeah.
And they know that they don't need it, but it's prescribed, so it's justified.
Yeah.
I have fibromyalgia. I've had fibromyalgia for a long time. Sleep deprivation. You know, I'm pretty much in chronic pain. I'm actually prescribed Vicodin. I don't snort it. I take it as prescribed.
Right.
They only give me a month at a time. I have to check in with them. That is all cool. And even the CBD, things like that. My sobriety is between me and God.
Right.
I choose not to drink alcohol because it gets in the way of me and God. And that particular night, I turned my back on God. Everybody else was out for my son's birthday, and I said I would babysit. And so here it was all again. I was home with the kid while other people were having fun. And I couldn't get out of my loneliness. I couldn't make a phone call. I couldn't ask for help. And the pot's at my house, so I smoked it. Like I say, 2 hits, couldn't wash it off. And I knew I turned my back on God. That's what that was about. It wasn't about the pot. It was about turning my back on God, who sees me through everything, and I wouldn't let him. I wouldn't let him. So I don't know if that's right, wrong, or indifferent. Doesn't really matter to me. I know by getting a 24-hour chip that I re-enlisted.
Yeah, you humbled yourself as well.
Very much.
You know,
went that year without raising my hand. You know, after whatever it was, I was going to get a 2-year chip, a 2-year medallion, and it was February. I was going to do that in May. So I had already been a year of raising my hand.
Yeah.
A lot of good that does when it's probably ego-driven, edging God out.
Right.
You know, so it restarted the clock and kind of gave me a new lease on it all to say, you know, this is fragile. Like, that's what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
for sure. I've got to keep it real. For sure.
I am not a physician. I'm not a doctor. I have no letters after my name, so I can't tell people what they can take and what they can't take. But you need to be honest with yourself and honest with your doctor. You know, like there are certain things that a 12-step recovery program aren't going to fix. Yeah, they're not. Like,
so why do you need to be? You only need to be honest if you want to live a clean life, live a happy life, live a unsecretive. You're only as sick as your secrets.
Yeah, a life of dignity,
and
self-respect.
Right. That's why.
No,
that's why you reach in and.
We were talking about a friend earlier who's like, he's helped himself out so much with like all natural stuff instead of all this medicinal stuff and medications that they were throwing at him, and like he was sick and he cured himself.
Yeah, they were saying he had to have surgery.
Yeah,
and have like 4 inches of his colon removed.
And he was like, no,
because he's soul sick. That's what he was
like. No,
right?
I'm not doing that. And like double-digit years in
and he's healthy
recovery,
as can be.
That's,
like spiritually,
where I'm
mentally,
at today.
And physically.
Yeah, that's where I'm at today. But it had to start from me putting down that one addiction, getting rid of that one thing that was so bad for me, and that for me was booze. It was gin. It was gin, no ice, no soda. Don't do nothing to my gin. Put it in me. I deserve the burn. That's why I drank. That's why I drank. I deserve the burn is how I felt. I didn't drink a beer unless it was free and it came with a guy. I mean, I didn't drink wine unless, you know, it's because it was with a nice something that you're supposed to. That's
this cheese tray, I'm supposed to drink this?
Right. And then I would see girls drinking Zinfandel and I'd be like, Zinfandel? What the? It's not even deep red or you know, come on.
Ginger ale.
Yeah, I went after that. I wanted the strongest wine and like I say, you know, when I found gin, I was happy. I was a gin girl. I was quite happy with that. When that burned going down, I knew I was alive.
I used to say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pain makes you know you're alive and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it does, I guess, but
I was so dead.
It's like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So you end up getting into Al-Anon and realizing that, you know, maybe you may have an issue.
Al-Anon taught me to wash the silverware, then wash the glasses, then because I was so codependent on the alcoholic that I couldn't see me. So I would say Al-Anon really helped me get to me.
So you were a caretaker.
Yeah. And still am. I get paid to do it. I'm also a personal care attendant. I do all kinds of shit. You can't believe I haven't even told you everything. I'm also an ordained minister. I officiate weddings.
Wow.
I've officiated about 30 weddings. And because when you get sober, like when I got sober, I just felt like finally I could do anything I wanted to do.
Right.
Like I finally had the energy and the self-worth and the self-esteem that I was really hiding because I was so hurt from.
It's like releasing in the emergency brake. It's like you're trying to drive with the emergency brake on, you just pop that thing and you're
it's like take off.
Life is so much easier.
Yeah.
When you get out of the way.
Yeah.
When you get off the couch, when you get off the bar stool.
So you were doing. So you end up going to meetings and how did you end up in 12-step?
My counselor said maybe for that, my counselor said, maybe if you don't drink, and I'd say, don't take away my booze. Like, that's holding me together. Yeah. I was that girl. Yeah. It's holding me together.
It's my glue.
Yeah, like, there's too much going on. I need it.
It's your solution.
I was on Valium. I mean, really, I was on depression medicine, Valium, drinking. I went to a client drunk. That was kind of,
I'm taking a depressant and I'm depressed.
Right, drinking a depressant. So she said try AA. I went back the next week. Did you know? And I got tired of telling her no. This person who really cared about me and we've been doing so much good work with.
Oh.
I said I don't want new friends. Like I know AA. I know I'm gonna end up finding people. I don't want people.
So it was like fear.
I hate people.
Fear. Yeah.
Fear of having to.
Fear of the
be,
unknown.
and to be loved.
Yeah. Fear of people getting to know who you are.
Right. Especially because if you knew me, you wouldn't like me.
All that bullshit that we tell ourselves.
I'm thinking these guys don't know me from a hole in the wall. If they knew me, do they really? Yeah. I don't have to have that thinking anymore. I don't think that way.
Comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I worked my way to Whitman Tuesday night and went back the next week. I have no idea how I got there. Have no idea what meetings I went to that first couple months. I know I did.
Oh, really?
I tried for the 30, 60, 90. I might have done it because how else are you going to stay sober? I mean, I did not know how to live with booze, and I didn't know how to live without it.
Yes.
I didn't want to live, but I didn't want to die. Like all these things we hear.
Right.
I'm like, I get it. I was home.
Oh, yeah.
I was so, but it took a while.
The jumping off point.
Yeah. It took a while because I was, I was really obnoxious. Now I'm just obnoxious.
Yeah.
When I came, I was really obnoxious and showy. And I had a sponsor quit me once because she told me I was a showboat. And I'm like, yeah, of course I am. Like, because I grew up being told to be a showboat. Like, look what Deb can do. Look what Deb can do. One of 6 kids and I don't know. I'm not the youngest, but I'm the baby. Like that type of BS. Yeah.
You had to stick out somehow.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So but earlier you said that you were involved in the reflexology and the Reiki before.
Yeah.
Because that was the client you went to drunk? Was a Reiki client?
That was. I went to that client. So that's 8 years. I've been no booze, and I've had that client for about 10 years. So.
Oh, so he began in the worst of it.
Yeah, but they don't know because they're relaxed. They're in their chair. That's what I say. I'm saying they don't know.
Can't smell it.
And I never.
It's gin,
until then, I never. Right. Until then, I never went. I never did that. For work. Maybe back when I owned a cleaning company. I have no idea. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I pretended it's not really drinking when you're only having some in your coffee in the morning. Like that's not drinking. Right?
No,
like
it's coffee.
I didn't get drunk. I just put some in my coffee or, just because it's 2 p.m. and I'm stopping at a bar. It's not like I have a problem. I'm just done for the day. I don't have to do anything else today.
Yep.
So
I deserve this.
Oh my God. I said it all the time. I'm such a good person. Look at everything I've done for people today.
Yeah. Yep.
That was me.
I see that trap, yeah.
Yes.
That was me. especially because I probably didn't really want to. I just thought I was serving God. I didn't know, because I didn't have a relationship like I do now with my God. So the one I had was, like I would with anybody, I suppose. If I do things for you, you will like me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I did things for God, he would like me.
Right, right.
You know, because he can't like me. Obviously, he's forsaken me. He had to have forsaken me. Look at my life.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a terrible spot to be in.
It's a terrible spot to be in. You know? Yeah, thank God I didn't have the courage to die.
Right.
Because I would have. That tree.
Oh, yeah.
That tree, that cliff. You know? Jump out of this door. Open the car door.
Yeah.
You know? That would be so much fun.
Right. I think I said this last week. Someone said that they were a death-welcoming alcoholic. Like, wouldn't do it themselves, but
Right.
if it happens, bring it, you know?
So be it. Yeah.
And,
No,
I was kind of in the same...
kind of like that.
Yeah, you know, like... And there was times when, you know, not like today, but back then, like, there wasn't overdoses like there is today. But I had good stuff. I knew that I had enough in there to get the job done, and my higher power always showed up. It was either in the form of the police, or it was in the form of my ex-girlfriend who wanted half of what I had, so now there wasn't enough to do the fucking job.
Or forgetting your book.
Or the friggin' the works broke, like always.
Yeah.
And like looking back on it now, it was just God saying, no, not yet. No,
Yeah, well,
this can't happen.
I almost died so many times. I mean, multiple times. I would put a movie in VCR. I was dating myself. Put the VCR tape in, hit, and then wake up when the credits are on.
Right. Right.
And that's like a 2 hours, you know, that I was out. And I've done that in public bathrooms, and I went blue in a person's car, and they brought me to the hospital, and I was saved there.
I remember waking up, I think it was like 3.5 hours later, in a stolen car with my foot on the brake at a stop sign.
Oh my God.
Like coming to like looking at the
I
clock,
was
like
drunk.
I remember like looking at the clock before I went out, and like
Unreal.
and it's fucking dark now. Like what the fuck?
Wow.
You know,
Crazy, huh?
You know, by myself.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And
You
said,
weren't-
dang, I better go get a drink. That was scary.
Yeah. Fuck. Wow. I kind of went a little deep. I think I might need some crack to wake up.
You weren't supposed to die
Yeah.
at that time. That's all.
So many moms and dads. I don't know many of the dads, but I know so many moms that have lost their kids.
Oh.
And it could have been me. I mean, my son is 2 years. He's almost 2 years sober.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And oh my God, I mean, he bought me these sneakers.
It's
like he's showing up.
It's so crazy,
showing
like
up.
how many grandparents are raising kids. An entire generation of parents are getting wiped out.
It used to be men were walking away from their kids, and you hardly ever heard about the women. And girls are just walking away from their kids.
And it's not so much walking away, it's
Drinking
addiction.
away. Yeah.
It's being taken by the
They
control.
no longer have the choice. You know, they can't make, like, the love for my own son did not stop me from sticking a needle in my arm.
Right.
Like, and, like, I can tell you, I love my kid, but that heroin was way stronger.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Dude, I was taken in by my aunt and uncle, and I was living in the room where my cousin died. My baby, infant son, was at home with his mother, and I was in that room, and I relapsed in that room, loving my kid to death, and I'm up in that room sticking a needle in my arm, where in the same room where he died.
Right.
You know, and they have a lot of guilt over that, and you know.
So did
it
they
is what
find
it
you?
is,
Did
but-
your aunt and uncle find you? Or
No.
Kind of recovered, but...
No, I was okay. I just was getting high again. And then they found out because, like, I went into a bathroom and somebody they knew saw me go in there. I didn't come out for an hour.
Constipated.
I was a social user, though, you know. I just go into public restrooms by myself for an hour at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got social. I was a social. I got very social.
Yeah, right.
I was better off drinking at home. I didn't get in too much trouble that way, and I didn't have to drive drunk. So, because I drove drunk.
Yeah.
The white line and the GPS got me home. One time, I believe one time, my daughter, I don't even know how old she was, 16 or something, she was on the phone with me while I was driving drunk. And I'm like, I can't even see the road. God knows what I was saying to this poor girl.
Yeah,
right.
And she's going, Mom, you can do it. You're almost home. You're almost home. What street are you on now?
Yeah.
God knows what she was saying, but she was, how do you? I don't know. I just try to be me today. I just try to be the sober me today.
Yep.
That please let me not hurt anyone. And that's really hard because everybody can get hurt in their own way. But if I'm coming from a place of love, and I'm coming from a place where my motives are not ego-driven, then...
that can be a tricky one.
Then I can be like, hey, you're hurting, but I didn't mean to hurt you. I know I didn't set out to hurt you.
Yeah.
And generally that means live and let live. That just really just means let them fall.
Yeah. People got to go through what they got to go through. I'm an alcoholic. Like, you can punch me in the face, but don't hurt my feelings.
Right.
I can take physical pain. It's the emotional shit that I don't like.
Right. But also, you can't really... People don't get sober because you yell at them and tell them to get sober. People don't get sober because you guilt them into it because, this and that. Although some people might end up going to treatment and then get sober. I mean, treatment definitely works. I had to go away,
Yeah.
Well, the tough love on the other side is only so that the person can see that they've been hurt, because they're not going to. Because I didn't know I was hurting people because I justified why I did what I did.
Yeah, you don't see the damage.
You're wrong. I'm not hurting you. You're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not hurting you.
No, I'm not.
And then when I realized it, I could just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. No biggie. I won't try to live your life. Let me just screw up my own. I'll fuck up my own. Thank you very much. Fuck you very much. Thank you very much."
But all the while, you're still messing up their life.
Didn't know. And I could be doing it now. Forgive me now. I just... Oops. I'm not going to apologize for my existence, but I certainly can apologize for my character defects that I still refuse to let go of because I'm still a hurt and suffering person, or I'm still full of fear.
Well, fear drives a lot of character defects, I think.
Yeah.
So turn your faith, turn fear into faith and let that stuff go.
Yeah, a friend of mine said, you can't manage your character defects. Just fucking let that shit go. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. It's like managing your character defects. It's like playing fucking whack-a-mole. You're gonna boom. There's one. There's another one. Just
I think
manage how you treat people. Manage how you act.
Right. Exactly. I usually am just nowadays. I'm just I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to affect people in a negative way. I don't want to produce negativity. But sometimes when I'm by myself, I'll get angry. It's almost like, I don't know, like driving or something. You get angry at somebody, and it's like, please forgive me, God. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. It's just so silly. Like, I'm going to get mad at somebody. I don't know what's going on in that car.
And now you realize, what am I doing?
Right, because we're irritable discontent. Like that's what it is. My honey will be driving down the road and he'll be pissing up and moaning and honking at somebody, and then he'll look at them. As we drive by, I go, "What are you doing? Looking to see what an asshole looks like?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Then look in the mirror." Because you're the one being a jerk. They don't even know you're on the road.
Right.
And nowadays I'll say to myself, I am such an asshole.
That's a good one. Absolutely.
Yeah. At least we realize it today.
Yeah.
You know.
It is a a journey of realizing it, right?
Yeah, but we're also human, and like perfect adherence. No one has claimed perfect adherence.
Right.
That's
right.
Mm-hmm. Well, my prayer in the mornings, some of them go like, "Let's do this, God." Like that. I'll wake up and I'll go, "Let's do this, God."
Right.
I'll say, "God, I'm an alcoholic. I need your help today." Like I don't get down on my knees. I'm sorry, but I got down on my knees a lot in my life, so I
don't need to do that today.
I don't need to do that today. But I know that when I do, it's because it's honest, it's earnest, it's where I want to be, it's where I want to meet him. If you have a friend and you don't meet them at their house, then what kind of friend are they? So it's not that I am not going to church, because I'm not going to church, but every night I'm at a meeting saying the Lord's Prayer. So if you didn't get it in during the day, you're bound to say it at night when you get yourself to a meeting.
Yeah,
so I go anywhere from 1 to 7 nights a week, and that's pretty honest. I can't say I ever miss a week. So, I can't tell my sponsees, what they could be doing.
How can I tell you to do it when I'm not?
I'm just saying this is what I'm doing.
Well, the knees thing was hugely symbolic and important to me. Because though I was someone who was prayed a lot, always, even when I was using and stuff, I wasn't a knees person. But when I it was symbolic to me, because when I got on the knees, it was willingness and humility that was symbolic of, and it was big to me. So I still do it. So, but I mean, if it doesn't speak to you, it doesn't speak to you. Know what I mean?
Well, I have a stool at the end of my bed, so that I can get on my knees, put my feet up on, put my hands up on the bed, and I'm not down on the ground.
Right. It's easier to get from the stool to prone.
I get really bored in that type of prayer, and I'm a Reiki master, so I'm no better than anybody else. I just have other knowledge. And so I get really bored sitting in prayer with God, but I never get bored living my life with God. Never get bored that way.
Right.
So, praying is huge. Meditation is the listening part of it. Spreading it is the doing of it, So, I mean, I have a sponsee who she had called me. She lives in Marshfield, and she called me one day. She goes, "Deb, when you were over here months ago," she says, "you said that you thought about drinking more than you drank, and that hit home." And she just got her year medallion.
Nice.
And all I did was tell somebody I thought about drinking more than I did it.
Right. You just that's the thing. Like, you never know what you're gonna share. That little mustard seed that you throw out there.
Yeah. Be the version of the big book somebody's going to see today.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Sometimes you're the story version of the big book. Sometimes you're after the 164 pages, and you're just giving your story, and this is what I did, and this is what happened to me.
Yep.
And other times you're maybe throwing out pearls of wisdom, these little nuggets of wisdom that are going, "Oh, wow, you're so smart." And I'm like, "No, I just have heard things."
Yes, exactly. I plagiarize. I'm a plagiarizer is what I am.
Yeah.
Like nothing's original.
Well, yeah.
I prayed for stupidity. When I prayed for stupidity, my life changed. Because when I came to AA, when I got into this recovery, this part of it, I knew everything.
Yeah.
And because I knew everything, I didn't allow myself to learn anything.
Right, you can't learn when you already know. Could it be more accurately described as like humility? I think.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, once you think you know it, you don't forget about it.
Because all I ever knew was humiliation.
Yeah,
I wasn't willing.
And lots of people get those two confused.
Yeah, I wasn't willing to learn.
Nothing alike.
I think I had been in AA 2 years before I ever heard the promises, and they were spoken at almost every meeting.
Yeah,
but I don't think I ever heard them until somebody said, "Deb, will you come up and read the promises?"
Yeah, and I say it.
I cried reading them.
I was
like, "Wow, this is good shit."
I was in sobriety and meetings for 7 years, and it's not like anyone, when I walked in, they were like, "Oh, take that book and hide it." No, they were talking about it, and they, stuff was shared. It's just luckily I stayed sober through that time, and I did AWOLs and stuff like that kept me okay from September to May, and then from May to September, self-will run riot just didn't pick up. That was it. That was the only thing I did right, was not pick up.
Whatever
just
get you through. It's all one long day anyway.
So now you do Reiki, you do hypnotherapy. If say someone wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Well, Facebook at Deb Touch Feet. At
Deb Touch Feet. Wow.
Because my business is called Touch the Soul, SOLE, but I hope to touch your SOUL. So my tagline is touching the soul through the soul. Through the feet. It's really cute. You can touch me. I know. I'm on Facebook. I'm on this page. Like you guys. This is good stuff going on,
Yes, and
cool, very cool.
We said, that's the way she came on. Deb came on is, if you want to share your experience and want to come on, hit us up, message us.
Yeah.
Always looking for guests.
Yeah, I like to get out of my comfort zone, and I don't want anybody to, what would happen if people knew? Well, people probably know anyway.
Right.
I mean, because I ooze recovery now, so it's not like I can really hide recovery like I did my drinking.
Yeah.
I think I hid my drinking better than I hid my recovery.
It's easier to live a double life when you're drinking.
And for myself, I don't care who knows. I think if someone knows that I'm in recovery and it can help them, then fucking put my name on blast, put it on a billboard. I don't care.
Right, exactly. Me too. And I think of it as almost like a badge of honor. I mean, I've gone through this thing. Of course, it was self-inflicted, but boy, I did it. I survived. And
but I also understand people that want the anonymity, and I respect that.
I think too. For me, it was that I'm more surprised I was an alcoholic than you are. I'm more shocked than you are. I had no idea those wasted days, wasted nights of being so miserable, and today I'm not. I have such a faith in that it's things are the way it's supposed to be. Page 417.
Yes.
And acceptance, and things are just the way. And it's not the way that God wants it to be. It's just the way that it is. Nothing happens in God's world. It doesn't mean that He's making it happen. And people say God only gives you what you can handle, and I say no. God helps you handle what you're given.
Yeah, right.
This is not all about him. Sorry, God, it's not all about Him. He gave us free will to screw up or not.
Right.
And when you screw up, He's there, and when you're doing well, He's there.
Yeah.
Right.
Your parents may or may not leave you, but, God's there.
All right, so what do we got? Yeah, we got an hour.
We're good.
We did good.
You did good.
So
another excellent podcast.
We appreciate you reaching out to us and
thank you for coming on. Very good. Interesting.
Yes. We didn't even mention it in the beginning. LOLTerms.com.
Yeah, LOLTerms.com. Please subscribe to the audio podcast. It sounds really good.
Yes. Subscribe, share. We're on iTunes.
We're on Instagram. We don't do anything.
Yeah, Instagram.
Me too.
Google Play.
I'm on it. I don't do it.
We're out there. We're everywhere.
Yeah. It's just a yet.
So
that's right. Yeah.
And like I said, if anyone wants to come on, hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up.
And reach out. Listen, when you reach out, you feel like you might be a burden, but you're helping in the person on the other end of the phone.
Absolutely.
The person that's that you're letting help, they're helping. You're helping them. I get so much help from my sponsees.
Right.
Or just women who call and say.
I get more out of it than they do, I think.
Yeah. This is why I'm going to stay sober.
Yes,
that's what I think.
Absolutely.
This is why I will stay sober. I will lose this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you, folks. And
Peace.
Peace.